Welcome to my neighborhood. I am Pat Sloan, and this is Monday, February 4th. So I just did a podcast. So I'm going to give you a little recap first, then I'm going to tell you a little bit about some other things that I'm working on, give you a little tip. Yes. So if you are watching this on YouTube, be sure you come over to my neighborhood on Facebook, Quilt Along with Pat Sloan. Okay. My podcast, I forget what number show this was. It's a lot, number a lot. But I had 3 fabulous guests, plus I did my own little chat on the end. So first I had Mary Covell, which she's an antiques dealer, and I got to hear about her background, and there was just some fascinating things about antique fabrics that I didn't know. So Mary Covell is the first guest, and she has a shop in Bedford, Pennsylvania. Then I talked to Angela Huffman, who has been a friend of mine for years, and she's a long arm quilter, amazing shop in Louisville, Kentucky. So you are going to get some great tips about long arming from Angela. Then I had Christina Brinkerhoff from Center Street Quilts, and I've just been in love with her designs. They are so darling. She has kind of 2 main things. So we got to hear a little bit about how she got into this and where the ideas come from, particularly the plaid. I'm like, now I need to make the plaid pumpkins. I know it's like February and I need to make plaid pumpkins. So thank you, Christina. So the link is down for everything I'm going to talk about, and you can go and visit my guests and listen to the podcast. Then I talked in the end about sort of leveling up your skills and why that's important and what it means to do that, plus some tips for beginners from all of you. I asked my Facebook group to give me some tips. Then I shared also the American Patchwork and Quilting sew along that they do every year. So I'll have a link to that. So you can go over, and if you want to do this sew along, it's really quite darling, and it's all rectangles. Yay! So for those of you who really like to sew squares and rectangles, this sew along is for you. You will love it. Now I also talked about my books, because I was mentioning that when I did my Teach Me series, this is where I put all my directions and all of my guidance and how to get sort of the basics for each of these techniques, plus a zillion quilts that you can do. So if you're just starting out, the Teach Me to Quilt 1. And then I have 4 in the series. So the applique, because I'm an appliquer, I love it. I know you don't probably see as much applique right now because so many of you are not. I need to convert you totally over to applique because it's very freeing. But this walks you through so easy machine applique. So easy. Now triangles are my other favorite shape in the entire universe. So my triangle book has all kinds of techniques and step-by-step photos. Let me see if I get a page open. So like there. So you got step-by-step photos that show you how to do the different techniques. And then my free motion quilting. So these are the 4 books in the Teach Me series. And you can collect them all and use them, have the projects, but also just use them for a reference. Because if you're trying to remember how to do something, you can just go right there and find the tutorial for it. That's what I designed them for. So you have this sort of set of reference books, plus lots of great patterns. And then if you're waiting for my new book, this is it. It won't be out till March, but you can pre-order. So I have that link down there. I want to show you another of the quilts from it. So I'm going to show you a summer one. Where we go. There we go. So if you want to do a little bit of applique, and you can just get your feet wet with a small project. You can make it as a table mat. You can make it as a pillow. You know, that is the easiest way to get started. Now I also did this super cute patchwork pillow, which I'm going to probably do one for each season. Like I think it would be really neat to do one of these for each of the seasons, because I like to change my pillows out, and then that way it's patchwork. And for those of you who get adventurous, we could have one of these plus like the applique one. So I think it'd be really fun to use the book that way to take. So I want to show you when you decorate seasonally, not holiday, but seasonally, you can use these same projects and the fabric is going to be what's important. You know, some of them are image based, so yeah, the sailboat. You could do a Christmas sailboat. My brother lives in Florida and they decorate the boats down there at Christmas. And you could definitely do, I don't know, a winter pumpkin in white. You know, I mean, there's ways, but probably aren't going to go that crazy. So you want to pre-order this. You want to get it so that you have it. And I'm going to do a lot of things about fabric discussion when we do sew-alongs from this book. A lot of ways that we can take projects, even like this one, which has mittens, because it's winter, you can just not do the mittens and do the other part of the project and use it for any season. So that is how I'm going to be approaching doing a sew-along, so that we are having fun with one book and learning a lot about fabric and color. Now, UFO busting, I just did a post today, and I put out a very old UFO. Even the picture I grabbed really quick wasn't even with it quilted. The picture was one that it's not been quilted yet, but it is quilted, so it's binding that I need to do. But I also have worked on this other UFO that I showed you some pictures of. So I have the rows sewn together now. That's why the marker's there. This is a disappearing 9 patch with Christmas fabric. So, ta-da, there's a row. Whee! So I have that whole row done. And I have each of the rows labeled with these markers, these super cute markers. And then that way, you know, I don't lose track, and I have them clipped. So I will have to put that back on there so I don't lose track. Now, one last thing that I'm doing as I'm working on another project, which is one of the things I like to do a lot of. I like to make, you know, take like trimmings or just work on another project at the same time. Like, it's when I start and stop, I'm sewing on that other project. So I'm making these super cute little stars. They aren't they cute? Look at that. Here's another one. Look. And I'm getting a whole stack of them. These are from the trimmings from the Christmas fig. So when I do a sew and flip, I trim things off, and I'm making these and adding the corners. Let me show you what that looks like here. So I have got this going on where I'm working with the design boards, because I can just leave them on here. And I have a bunch of these half square triangles already sewn together for the star points. Here's, you know, for the star points. But I want to show you the background. As I decided that the best thing would be to press these seams open. So these are all pressed open. And that way I feel like they're going together much better with that open. So that's a little tip about what I'm doing to get these stars organized. So I have all these sets that have to be pressed open, and then when I do, I will have enough to put together a star. So that is, whoop. So when I have down on the board, I've got them laid out. So once I get 8, 2, 4, 6, 8 of the half square triangles ready, then I can make a star. And then as I sew other patchwork, when I start and end, I'm sewing units of the stars so that they're coming together quite nicely. It depends on the block. Like, here's one that had the beige dots. And that is one of my sideline projects. I have all these little sideline projects. So UFO busting, just to recap what I'm doing there, once a month, on my website, on blog post, I will write about UFO busting. Today I kind of whipped one out there fast because I didn't want to get too late in the week. And so I'm going to actually go back and update it with a second UFO that I want to work on, because I actually want to work on 2. I might finish the binding on that one, and then I might either bind another one or move another one forward. I have some that are like this one here. This is being moved forward. Like, maybe this will probably be one this definitely will be sewn up and sent to be quilted in February. But I'm not going to quilt that one myself. So I'm going to send it to the spa to have the spa quilted. So I'm Pat Sloan. This is my Fireside Chat. Listen to my podcast. Visit me at Quilt Along with Pat Sloan. If you have a question, leave it below, and I will get back to you. Talk to you later.